What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and we're going to be doing the 3 takeaways after we've had some time to think about it of the Miami Dolphins game versus the New York Jets. 40 to 17. Great scenes. We're going to talk about the 3 biggest takeaways that I took away from this game. I'm going to start with the jersey that I'm wearing right now. I'm going to start with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is showing us growth from last year and being a lot more effective as a pass thrower. We saw him complete 66% of his passes. He went 14 of 21 for 210 yards in a win. That's an average of 10 yards per attempt, which is pretty good. Now, we obviously didn't throw the ball a whole bunch, but that was because we led the game the entire time. We ran the ball a crap ton, and we really didn't give him an opportunity with his arm to go out there and really show up and show out. I'd be interested to see what would have happened if we threw the ball another 10 times. What if we ended the game with 20 or 31 pass attempts? What would his completion percentage? But I think the biggest thing that I took away from Zach Wilson this game is not just that he's showing us growth from last year to this year. He's showing us growth from game to game. The Pittsburgh game, what did he struggle on? His footwork in the short to intermediate passes were really badly. It's something that he struggled with last year, but this game, you could see that he was much better in the short to intermediate passes, getting the ball to Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall in back-to-back plays in almost the identical spot, and to give them the ball, very catchable, get the ball in his playmakers' hands and have them go out there. And I also think that his positioning of where he's placing the ball has gotten a lot better from last game to this game. I think a great example of this is a pass that technically counted as an incomplete pass, but I, as someone who played quarterback, totally understand the thought process of what he was going. He was short, maybe 2 yards, and that was the Elijah Moore pass where he threw it into the dirt, and you could tell exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to get the ball to Elijah Moore close to the ground so that Elijah Moore had to go down to get it, and that he would protect his wide receiver so that he wouldn't take a big hit or a big shot, and he put it in a position where only his wide receiver could go get it. It's unfortunate that he was short a yard, but still, you can see the thought process, and now he's not just focusing on getting the ball to his receivers, but he's focusing on getting the ball to his receivers in good spots. Love to see the growth from Zach Wilson, not just from last year to this year, but from game to game. The next key takeaway from the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets game is that our defensive backs are legit. Specifically, our cornerback room is legit. Guys, I don't think I'm being facetious when I'm saying this, but I legitimately think that the New York Jets might have the best cornerback tandem, cornerback duo in the NFL. Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed were the only corners that allowed or didn't allow Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle to absolutely feast on them. We held them both to a combined 74 yards. That is absolutely insane, or 70-ish yards or whatever it is. That's absolutely insane to see that from our cornerbacks. And Sauce Gardner, obviously, with his first interception last game, he got us a safety last game. DJ Reed was super sticky with his wide receivers. We legitimately have a serious cornerback duo, and this was going to be, in my opinion, the first test that this cornerback duo really had and this isn't me trying to disrespect Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, those guys are serious. But what those guys don't have is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle's speed. And I always feared that this cornerback duo wasn't going to be able to hold up with speedy wide receivers, which a lot of teams have in the league now. And that's absolutely not true. Not only can they hang with the skill big guys that you see, your Jamar Chases, your Tyler Boyds, your T. Higgins, but they can also stick with the speedsters of the league. We were able to keep the Cheetah under 50 yards, keep Jalen Waddle under 25 yards. Absolutely fantastic scenes from the boys there. And then my last key takeaway has to be the adjustments and the play calling that we're getting from our coaching staff. I think a lot of Jets fans tend to forget that we also have a really, really young coaching staff, not just really, really young players. Robert Saleh is a second-year head coach like ever. He's never head coached before. Mike LaFleur is a second-year offensive coordinator ever. He's never offensive coordinated before. Jeff Ulbrich is in his 2.5 year of being a defensive coordinator ever, because he was the interim defensive coordinator for those couple of months in Atlanta on that horrible Atlanta team. So, like, I don't count that. So we Jets fans have been complaining a ton about the lack of adjustments coming from the coaching staff. And this game, we saw that not just on one side, but both sides of the ball. Jeff Ulbrich coming in with a whole new game plan specifically targeted at the wide receivers and the pass catchers that Miami had, really saying, we're going to give you the run game relatively well, but we're going to limit what you're going to be able to do in the air. Playing a big nickel and nickel hybrid and interchanging that third corner or safety depending on who's out in the field. Absolutely brilliant. All of the stunts and the double moves and the different things on the defensive line that you saw, absolutely great. And then talking offensively, Mike LaFleur adjusting his play calling to what the defense was throwing at him. He comes out there with a 3 tight end set. It wasn't working for him. He went away from it. He sees that the defensive backs and the linebackers are shying away from the defensive from the line of scrimmage and really playing in coverage to try to stop the passing game. Well, he forces those guys to step into the box, puts both running backs out there, forcing them to stack the box, not with just 7 guys, but 8 guys, really coming down and opening up the back half of the field. You love to see the adjustments. You love to see the play calling and the different stuff there. And ultimately, I think the biggest thing that I loved from our coaching staff is growth. And that's what we got to see from every aspect of this football team. Not just the players, but our coaching staff. Robert Saleh, Jeff Ulbrich, Mike LaFleur. I can't remember the special teams coordinator name right now, but all of our coordinators, all of our coaches, all of everybody stepped up in a big way and is showing growth in the areas that we need to see growth from. Guys, let me know of any keys that you thought I might have missed in the comment section below. And last but not least, go Jets.